Hello everybody, welcome back to the Metroid Fusion speedrun tutorial. Today we're going to be covering Sector 4, the aquatic sector, probably one of my favorite sectors to do in the entire speedrun. Everything feels so consistent about it. There's really not a whole lot of, there's a few places where you can flub some movement here or there, but for the most part I feel like this is the one sector where you can practice a lot of stuff and like movement wise and get better at it without too much penalty. Just at the beginning of Sector 4 here, I'm just, again, Atom text, then we got our standard save, restore rooms. And the first thing that we're going to do after we get out of the recharge room is we're going to do well, if I open the door, we're going to do a small hop onto the ledge. Reason is because if you don't, you're just going to end up grabbing this ledge as you run off, and pulling yourself up is rather slow, so you could just do a very light press on the A input to jump, or your jump input, depending on whether or not you're using a emulator with your own controller. It might not be hotkeyed or configured to be the A button, but it, whatever button you've chosen for it to be jump. Now, once we're here, we're gonna just keep going. As we're gonna go through, we're just gonna keep going. So for this jump specifically, you can see that when I jump, I kind of, I'm just gonna end up grabbing this ledge no matter where I jump on this platform. Right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do what's called a jump extend, and I don't believe I've covered this yet in this set of tutorials. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to jump, and in the middle of the jump, I am going to shoot and then respin. I may have covered this in the very first tutorial now that I'm thinking about it, since there is a small jump extend as you're falling, but it'll look something like this. I shoot, and I press A almost immediately. The way I tend to like to do this is when I'm playing on the controller, I will get up there real quick. I'll jump, and you really only need to see my thumb, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump. Oop, hang on. This is awkward playing like this, just a little bit. So it's going to be very quick. Just jump, and then it's just a very quick, let me move this thumb out of the way. Very quick like this. And as you can see, when I do that, I shoot, and I can also, or while I'm spin jumping, something like that. Just do this. Just like press the buttons one after the other. Getting in the habit of kind of doing that is, you'll be able to get the jump extend fairly consistently. Now, depending on where you jump, you might need like one extra one, like I just needed there. It's, I don't want to say it's an exact science, because there's really no momentum to it, but as long as you're, once you get a feel for it, you'll be able to tell, like, oh, I'm not even going to make that, with one. So, like, I think let me see if I can find a nice visual marker. I think that, second black line to the left, so that line right here, not that one, sorry, that one right there, that's directly above me. I believe if you're looking for a visual marker, if you touch that black line, you'll get it with one jump extend. If you're just shy of it, just slightly to the right, you might need an extra one. So let's take an example where that might be the case. Even then, let's see, just slightly. That one took 3. But I think you get the idea. Excuse me, sorry. I think you understand the idea, just what, you kind of want to do in that room. So the other option would be to just, do a small hop, run off the ledge, and then jump up. The reason I wouldn't really advocate for this, it's really tough, especially on this one, to at least from what I can tell, to really get it, like, to be exact where you can kind of, like, unspin quickly on this. I mean, you can kind of get it, but there's also the chance that, you know, you go a little bit over, or you run a little bit, which, I mean, it's not necessarily that much slower. I mean, really, we're talking about a few frames. A lot of these, like, alternate strategies that I'm showing off there really are just a difference by, you know, frames. Just a few frames, that's all. But moving on, we're gonna get to this room here. And what I'm gonna do here is, as I run through this room, I'm gonna shoot the door and I'm gonna hold a charge beam. Now, the reason I'm gonna hold a charge beam here, it's very important that you do this. The reason you're doing it is because in this next room, you're going to jump, and you're going to land here, you're going to jump up and wall jump, or, well, you don't even have to wall jump, sorry. That wall jump is completely unnecessary. As you go through the door transition, you want to jump up and then jump again to kill the little crab guy. And when you do that, you'll have no, you'll use your pseudo screw, sorry. And then you're going to want to morph as quickly as possible. And lay a bomb on this little 3x2 blockchain to destroy the blocks. This room has a few different methods of passing through it, depending on how comfortable you are with movement. I'm gonna make a quick save right here. We are still on the console, as the quality will dictate. I'm sure you can tell. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up this way. I will R-shoot as I climb. And I will... So, very interesting what I just did there, movement-wise. It may have been really quick. So it may have been really easy to miss. So what I did there... And I'll reload the save right now, and I'll walk through what I just did to make it as smooth as possible. So again, I'm going to come into the room. I'm going to hold the charge. I'm going to do 2 jumps, and then press down twice and bomb this blockchain. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to continue to hold left so that I'm running, but I'm also going to hold up left. And the reason I'm going to hold up and left at the same time, you can go away now. The reason I'm going to hold up and left at the same time is because it will allow me to do a spin jump into the ladder, but I'll also be able to grab the ladder immediately and move without needing to make any sort of adjustments or without me stopping. Holding up left will allow you to continue to climb the ladder after you've grabbed the ladder already. So it's a really quick, smooth... So again, I'm holding up left, I'll just do a jump into the ladder, and you can see it's really seamless. Just as soon as I let go of A, or as soon as I make contact with the ladder, my velocity stops, I am immediately climbing across the horizontal ladder. Real easy. And then what I'm doing there is I'm R-shooting, as visible by the missiles becoming activated. Now, depending on where you are in the ladder and the animation will also depend on where that charge beam is shot, because if you want to keep an eye on where that glowing circle is, because if it's in the ceiling, you can see that, you know, it's going to be just shot into the ceiling, and you can see as I'm doing that, the flare also will kind of trail behind Samus's head a bit, and like right where it lands. Oop. Now, if I shoot it anywhere else, so say like right about, right about there, anywhere that's not the ceiling is going to end up being the, gosh darn it. It's going to be kind of like dependent on where it is specifically. So like making sure you can kind of hit it. Like I got it halfway in that ceiling just a second ago, but wherever that is, you're going to just end up firing it forward. And the reason that, you know, being able to R-shoot while moving, not only is it faster, you don't have to stop, but it also, you know, it'll allow you to kind of get more familiar with the movement. So like I can kind of just do this and then, oh hey, there's a crab. Oops. Well, he kind of fired, but the idea is that, you know, you should be able to hit it as long as his hitbox doesn't come back up. So, again, the one way you can go through this room, and you saw that after I did it the first time, I was able to kill the crab. It's because I don't let go of B at all. I fire, well, there it is, and then I kind of will fall and spin jump onto this crab. And by doing that, you should have just enough time to have fully stored or fully charged a charge beam. So that way your pseudo screw attack will then kill the crab. From here, we can either jump up, or we can, go down, and just holding this charge beam, just pseudo screw our attack away across the room. You can go above as well. From that point, you can come up here, and then fall down here, and then do a very quick, you can, either fire a missile up. So let's do it that way, so that way the enemies are there, because that method will also be used as we're leaving the boss fight of the sector as well. So again, we're just gonna go through this way. Whoopsie. I killed him. Whoops, don't know why that hit me. It's fine. I'll fall down this way, and then I'll fire a missile up into the left. So I'll press L, and I'll hold the missile after I land. So it'll look something like this. Boom, boom. And because I'm moving, the momentum, you can kind of see where that missile trail leads, will end up just hitting the crab on that very small space. You shouldn't be missing this shot too often. You'll occasionally miss. Like that, if he kind of goes left. But again, it's pretty consistent for this movement right here. Fall down. As you fall, you can hold L. Like, I'm holding L right now, as you can see. So I'm just going to hold L, and then I'm just going to, oops. If you fall down here, and as soon as I land, I will fire a missile. If you ever fall down here, you can climb up this ladder right here, and you can kind of, if you feel comfortable with wall jumping, kind of wall jump off it right back to the top, or you can just climb up this way. So that's one way to progress through this room. The other way, instead of taking that ladder, which is the way that I tend to go through this room, is I will do the same opening. I'll come in, I will pseudo screw, lay the bomb, but instead of doing this, I'm going to fall down, and as I hit this water here, I'm going to do a small jump. You can do it slightly before you hit the water, or even when you hit the water. And just note, when you do this, you are going to take damage from the electrified water here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump, not fire. I don't know why I fired, but you're going to come down here, you're going to run, jump, and as I kind of get in between these two, I'm going to fire an R shot. Again, R shooting is really nice in this area, and it's going to be used kind of heavily, to be completely honest. So again, as I'm halfway through, or about the same height as the crab on that platform, I'm going to do that, and then the same thing there as well. So let me reset this room real quick, so I can get a kind of faster demonstration going. So it's just going to be something like this. Jump, jump shot, jump, jump shot, and that. The other way you can go and do that, you don't even have to R-shoot the second one either. What you can do instead is you can just pseudo-screw attack it and just land right on it. Instead, and just completely eliminate that chance for the miss. Although you are kind of leaving that window open for the chance that you get hit by a shot. But it's more of a, if you do a high jump, kind of like as soon as you land here, just to like right there, you're gonna usually avoid that kind of shot coming across. Oop, fell down. I don't know how I got that, but alright, so that's that room. There's a couple different ways that you can traverse this room. Hopefully what I've presented is helpful, and if you want to have your own way of moving through this room, then by all means, definitely go about it. For this next room, I'm going to hold a charge beam as I go through the door transition. So just as it starts, and I'm going to angle down and shoot like that, and I can kind of fall in. So what I did there was kind of fast. A little quick there, so let's back up a bit. So what I'm going to do is as I go through this door transition, I'm going to hold down and to the right. Sorry, the left. Oh, why did I say right? I'm going to hold down left. I'm going to hold the L button, and I can, as I'm running, I can just hold down. Even if I come through the door transition looking high like this, I will always look down on the first frame, because you're basically just buffering inputs through the door. And that can be used in several different places in this run to buffer an input through a door, especially when you have speed boosting, right? So let's do this now. We're going to go through this door, and we're going to fire this charge shot, or try to time it up, if you will, with this, or we can just, you know, fire it as we come through this door. That's the other option. Excuse me, sir. Just release it, boom, and you're going to hit that crab every time. Now, you can, as soon as you go through the door, hold R to fire it on the first frame, which I recommend more than releasing the B button when you're coming through this door, because you're going to need another charge. So by holding R through the door, you get that, you're going to do a very small hop there, and you're going to pseudo-screw that guy right there. And the reason you're going to I mean, you don't have to pseudo-screw that guy. You can use a missile. But without, you know, releasing... Gosh, I really wish I could just get that jump. Ooh, I got hit. Yikes. That's interesting. You just do a small hop, and you can just kind of move through like that. And it's very kind of seamless where you do a short hop, and then you can just, as you fall, just press A to spin into them. The other option would be, you know, you come in, and I hope I get this because I don't really do this too often, but you come in, you fire this, do your small hop, and you can kind of fire as you fall or at the apex of your jump. I believe I just used apex correctly. If I didn't, I'm sure someone will correct me. As you fall and then come down here. So the other thing that you saw me do as I was falling was this. As I'm falling like this, I will hold left and I will fire a missile. Or as I'm falling to the left, I'm just going to fire a missile and press down twice. Now the reason I am firing a missile is very specific. It's because if I fire a missile, the missile doesn't travel as quickly as a charge shot will. So as you can see, I fired a charge shot, and it didn't quite. The door isn't open. It moves off screen too quickly to be able to morph right before you land to be able to do this. Now, if you're coming in here and you're not going to morph, you can fire and run right along. That's fine. But excuse me, sir. Excuse me. As you're coming through this room, you're going to want to, especially for the next room, oops, almost didn't get that. You're going to want to come down here, and as you're spinning down, fire a missile, press down twice, and then right before it gets off screen, after you press down twice, you're going to want to just start holding left immediately. As soon as you get Morph Ball, you're going to hold left immediately. So, and you should be kind of landing, like, right next to the Homer Simpson tank. Like, you can land, like, kind of here, and it should still work. Well, let me double check that. I want to make sure, because if you're holding left, as soon as you get Morph Ball, you'll continue to fall left, which will give it that extra little bit of time. Let me just... Oops, hang on. Let's double check. I guess. I mean, well, I'm an idiot, and I actually was pressing left again when I should not have been. Let's try one more time. Oops. Well, hang on. It kind of still works. Now, thank you for pushing me back into the room. The reason I suggest morphing is, you know, if you're trying to go fast, you'll morph. The fast strat is to morph in this room as you go through the door transition. The reason being is in the next room, there's a bomb block chain that if you destroy it, then you will, it goes across the entire ceiling and then down to a platform. So it kind of looks like this. Well, more so it looks like this, as you're going to see it. So it's going to destroy this way and then down like 3 blocks, right? So, we'll save here. Now, I guess the other thing I should mention right before we get to this is that if you want, you can go this way. And I will show this, but I'm going to reset as soon as I get it. So you got to come this way through all this water, right, to get an extra E-tank. Come on, kind of come off here. And this is covered in the 100% tutorial. Kind of jump through here. 100% tutorial is slightly out of date, but it is good for movement. You can come this way, because there is an E-tank here. However, it is really out of the way, and at this point there are much faster E-tanks to get up to this point that it really shouldn't be an absolute necessity to come this far out of your way to get this one. Overall, I would say that this probably takes about 20-30 seconds. And I probably shouldn't have saved here, but whatever. Here's what we'll do. We'll time it up to the point where I get back into this room, and or as I get to that door. So we'll time it up right here. I'll save right here, and we'll time it up to comparatively. Okay. Make sure the hotkey works. It works. All right. So, what I'm gonna do actually. Hang on. Let me see if I close my splits. If it still shows up as a timer. Let me see. It does not. Great. Okay. Sorry. Open these back up. Alright. I'll just use start and pause. I said pause. Okay. As my basis for time. This might be like an average time-ish, maybe? We'll see. Okay, got the good fish pattern. Didn't hit me on the wall there and stop my progress. Alright, so it's already taken about 30 seconds just to get here. We'll just take that hit because that guy's kind of annoying to get. I got knocked backwards. That's fine. Whatever. We're going to fall towards the door here. Please don't spawn on top of me. Cool. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. About 55 seconds. So it's close to a minute, right? Okay. So that's a minute. This E-tank, though, we'll get the delta, technically, from here. I'll enter this room with one hand. I'm going to attempt to, actually. $49 seconds. Give or take a few seconds. So that is damn near a minute of time to go get one E-tank or another E-tank. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable, by all means, go and get it. But if you're looking to start, like, you know, if you grab that E-tank in your run, you're looking to kind of shave down your time, this is one that you would probably consider cutting almost immediately because that's a free minute of time save. And if you're kind of on the more, like, advanced side, I would say, where you're kind of just, you know, if you're watching this, you're just kind of trying to get some of the movement down, you're looking for more explanation as to why you do certain things over others, then, you know, definitely, you know, you're probably already not grabbing it anyway. But you might. You know, no judgment, you know, no problem if you do. At all. But it's just one of those ones that's really, really slow. If we're being 100% honest here. Now, let's get through this room yet again. So sexy. Such a sexy movement through that room. We'll remake this save state right here. Save state. This quick save. Right? We're not using emulator. So, one way you can go about it, if you're not comfortable with taking damage in the water, you don't want to take too much damage, you can come in here, buffer up an input of up and B. So I'll show this real quick. So here I'm holding B, or I'm going to hold B, and I'm going to hold up and release B. So you can see that almost immediately, like, you can buffer inputs through the door. So that's a good example of buffering inputs. So I'll just do it one more time, and then I'll just jump up here, lay this bomb, and then you can kind of, again, hold up left, and you can just climb across, press A to get off the ladder, and then you're gonna bomb this pillar right here. If you need missiles, you can come up here, and the most consistent way is to kind of wall jump to the top of that ladder, so that way as soon as you grab it, you can just climb right up. A big important note, so you can kind of see that I'm still spin jumping along the ladder. By releasing A and stopping your jump, you will grab the ladder immediately, as you can kind of see. And I'm sure I've covered this again in previous parts, but each recording's a week apart, and there's no harm. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what that was about. Just something caught in my throat. Not sick, I promise. And so I may have repeated this in certain parts, in the previous parts, but I feel it's not a bad thing to be slightly redundant, because, you know, stuff like this, especially if you're going for faster time, is extremely important for going faster. You know, and, you know, hearing it again and again I really just feel like is reinforcement to some degree. So, I'm gonna come up here, and I'm just gonna, you know, kind of get a jump there, and I'm gonna try to grab it as close to the top of the ladder to grab this ledge and climb up. Again, I'm holding, as I'm jumping, I'm switching from a, you know, when you're wall jumping, you press the opposite direction when you're along a wall. You press that and A very quickly in tight succession. So you can kind of see that, like, it's kind of time-based here, where, you know, I've kind of gone over wall jumping, but as you're along the wall, you want to, as you press the left directional, you're going to want to press A almost immediately after. Because if you press A and then left, I mean, it's not really going to work at all. But, you know, as long as they're, like, very close, like a couple frames apart, then you're golden. All this just to get this missile tank. This is a 100% item. You don't necessarily have to grab this. I'm not going to grab it. But, that's one way. And the rest of this room is going to be the same, regardless of whichever way you choose to get over this moat. So, let's say I, you know, came in this room, and I rolled right here. So what I'm going to do... Wow, I just did not open the door. I'm just going to roll to the left, and as I hit the edge of this platform, I'm going to jump and lay a bomb. I'm going to unmorph and start holding up left, and... Oopsie. Let's do this again. I'm going to hold up left, so that way when I get right about there, I'm going to fire an R shot. I'm specifically firing an R shot. You can jump extend. That is, if not, that's probably better than an R shot, because you're getting that extra little horizontal distance that I was just not getting a second ago. So again, let's do it with a jump extend. This way we don't miss the platform. Okay, right about there, I get that little jump extend. I missed the shot. I shoot specifically up left because I want to try to hit that crab, because if I get up there, there's the possibility as if he's not dead, he could fire as I'm getting up here and knock me backwards. And that's not what I want. I want to make sure that that guy is gone, and as I come up here, I can morph as quickly as possible. And the reason we're morphing as soon as we kind of land here is because we have to destroy these bomb blocks, and these are specifically bomb blocks. So, what we're going to do is, when we get up here, we're going to morph and lay a bomb as soon as we get to this wall. We can lay it a little bit before, not there, so like maybe right about there, like a half block, or not. That's about a half block. You could see that I kind of just destroyed the one, but as you get to this wall, you're going to lay it, and right before it goes off, you're just going to do a short hop. You can do a short hop, and on the second one, you can unmorph and just start running. You're going to, so, again, it's bomb, and then you're going to short hop, and you want to kind of time it up with the short hop, so that way you're in midair as that bomb goes off, as we've stated in the last video, so that way you don't get shot up like this. So again, you're going to avoid that, lay another bomb, and then you're just going to run in. So, and I'm going to quick save here. Hang on, make sure okay, all my momentum is done. So hard to speak today for some reason. And we're going to hold a charge beam through this door, right? We're going to hold a charge beam, and again, we're going to buffer an input through this door. So we're going to hold up and let go of B. And by doing that, we destroy, not only do we destroy the block, but we also kill the ouch that's on the wall. So let's go over this, let's do this again. Look, you know, up, release B. And there you go. Now, there is one thing that I realized that I haven't really mentioned in the tutorial so far. Or I might have, and I just don't forget. Or I don't remember, and I forget. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Did a very bad speedrun yesterday. Brain is a little frazzled still from catching 29 Toros. Anyway. Door fixes, and I definitely talked about this in the last part. It's definitely not something I talked about in the first 2 videos. The 3rd video I did. This 4th video, we'll go over it again. So, I mentioned door fixes, and that's the RTA way of saving time. So, you can see when I run through this door, it kind of adjusts, right? Okay, it adjusts. That's a couple frames. I think it's about 16 frames. So, when I come through this door specifically, I'm just going to do a small hop, so I'm coming through the middle of it. Or I'm just going to jump up, you know, through it as I come through, so, like, right about there. You know, it'll adjust, yes, but it's not by much. It's a small hop, so you can run through it, or you can jump through it, kind of like this. And then hold up and do that, and then you can, you know, save it 16 frames. There are a lot of these. I don't know, you know, I'll try to cover some of them. I'm not going to cover absolutely all of them. Again, this, you know, while this is well, there actually really isn't a tutorial, I don't think, that really goes over all of these door fixes. So it might be to my best interest to go over them now that I'm thinking about it. So I'll retroactively go back and talk about some of the door fixes now that I'm thinking about it. And I apologize if that's something that you're hoping to see. And I have not covered it yet. I'll cover it from this point on. Might make the videos a little longer. Whatever. It is important to note not all door fixes are, you know, worth going for. There are some door fixes where the time save is super negligible because, you know, you're going to be jumping off the ground. You're going to be in that jump. You're going to lose all your, you know, full speed momentum, and you're going to, you know, lose those frames that you otherwise would have saved. So, but this door fix is fairly free. Again, just buffering inputs, and then... So this room specifically is going to be interesting. It requires a lot of killing of ouches here. It's a completely vertical room. I always find the vertical rooms to be very interesting with how you have to move through them, because it's going to be, it's a combination of wall jumping, pseudo screw attacks, charge shots, missiles, and any other kind of trick that you could possibly think of, or like small optimization. So for this one, I'm just going to go through it the quick way. I'll make a quick save right here. I already did, I'm pretty sure. I already have. So I'm going to go through it the quick way here. I'm going to kind of come through here, and I can fall off. Whoops. I'm going to, you know, as I come up, I'm going to do a single wall jump. Grab this ledge, fall off, and then wall jump off of that wall. That was a single frame wall, that was a single frame crumble jump. Everybody clap. Get to a height where I can kind of land on it. Where I can kind of land on this platform across. Shoot up, and then what I'm going to do here is... Well, that guy's out of position, so we'll start again. I'm going to come up here. Kind of fire with a missile, and then I'm just going to wall jump and fire a missile. So, ideally, when I come through this room, I got another frame perfect crumble jump. Clap again. You're welcome, everybody. I know you're all impressed. We're going to come up this way. We're going to fire a missile mostly to kill that, because charging a charge beam there, you can do it, but it's faster to fire a missile. Now... I'm going to reset the room, again, because it's very important that the ouch and the little crab guy are in position. So missile and shot. I'll charge a missile as I'm coming up, and I'll get the the pseudo screw as I am, you know, coming up. Oh, so I'll pseudo screw one enemy, but I'm holding L and up left, and I'm firing a missile, so that way I can kill the second enemy as well. Kill that enemy. So this ouch is going down this time, so I can just pseudo screw that guy. Fire, and I can fire one shot up here because one shot is again 2 parts, so each part will hit each block. So 2 parts, 2 blocks gone. 2x2 blocks. You only have to hit the one part for the 2x2 to go away. The other part will hit the other 2x2. It's possible to hit this wall here, so you kind of want to fall down, make sure you're right there, jump, and do a full jump to the left before doing a wall jump over to the right, so that way you can kind of land up on the platform. So that's one way, right? And I'll go through it one more time, which is, again, going to be very quick. Not going to really walk through it this time. I'm just going to try to walk through it as best I can. So up B, wall jump, fall, spin to the right, hold up left, fire missile down, fire a shot, charge your charge beam. I missed, and you kind of saw something a little interesting there that I haven't really covered just yet. So let me do that again. So I'm going to take a hit, I'm going to grab the ladder, and I took a hit, but you notice something interesting, right? As I'm taking this hit, you know, I'm able to grab the ladder immediately. And this is something that I'll cover in in a few videos from now. But by holding up and left, not only can I grab the ladder immediately as I jump into it, but while holding up and left as I climb, if I were to take any sort of hit, because I'm holding the up input still, I will immediately re-grab that ladder. So I can get knocked that way, but I'm still holding up, so I'm still going to grab it, right? So you're going to kind of... I mean, it just makes sense, right? And I feel like I need to use my arms in this example. I don't know why. Maybe because, you know, I'm not moving around too much. I'm just using my hands for the most part. And I'm getting restless. But, you know, holding up left or up right, you're going to continue to move in that direction almost unimpeded. Even if you were to get, say, you know, damage boosted in the direction that you're moving, right? Which is great, because you'll get damage boosted that way, and then you'll grab the ladder and then continue that way. So, again, let's see if we can get one where, you know, and again, I'm holding a charge, and that ouch is going the wrong way, but cool. So we'll try this one more time the quick way, and then you can kind of, we'll go through it the, you know, I want to say the more, the snug way. Alright, don't need to kill that guy anyway. Alright, here we go, perfect. So you can see, what just happened there was I killed the first one with a pseudo screw, and I fired a missile almost immediately. The reason is, if they're right on top of each other, that one hit, the hitbox of the crab is much larger than the ouch. So you can kind of clip the hitbox of the crab, kill that, and then fire the missile and hit the ouch underneath. And again, we're just going to kind of land and then fire up once, and then boom, we're through. The other way to go about this room, again, you don't have to jump, you don't have to jump extend, you don't have to door fix this, you don't have to fix this door. Hold up B, you know, you can kind of just jump up and grab the ladder if you don't feel comfortable wall jumping. Climb across like this, climb across like that, fire a missile still, potentially fire a missile up, grab this ledge, and you can either fire a missile or a charge shot, grab this ladder, jump, hold down after you jump, fire a shot, and then grab the ladder and wall kick off the ladder to grab the ledge. And then we are on now to this room, the save room. You're gonna fire a shot to destroy this block. I'm just gonna run back through. And you're just going to jump and morph. You can also, I mean, jumping and morphing, because you're going to kind of, it's faster to jump and morph because you can jump a little sooner to get to where you need to go. And morph so that way, and hold right so that way you land on the ledge and roll into that tunnel. You can come up to this and kind of jump in there as well. But as you kind of come through here, you're just going to spam B to start laying bombs. So you can lay one as early as possible to kind of hit that blockchain, which will be back. That first one will hit. And you're just going to kind of, you know, unmorph. And, you know, so you could see what I did there. I kind of, you know, unmorphed. So I'll come through. And it's really quick. I press up, and I press up, shot, and jump. Or up, jump, and then shot. Whoops. Unmorph, darn you. So I'm unmorphing, I'm jumping, and I'm shooting immediately. Goodness me. The reason I'm jumping first before I shoot is I start to spin jump, and then the shot cancels that. So I'm as close to the ground as possible. So it's kind of looking, and I'm holding right the entire time, right? So or correct? So I'm holding to the right. I'm not unmorphing, apparently. And I'm just going to unmorph, and I'll just move as quickly, as fast as possible to the next one. Now, what you can do through this door is you can jump, not like that, because I didn't jump, but you can jump through this door, kind of like this, and land up there, so you don't have to grab the ledge. You can grab the ledge as well. It's just as easy. Let me see if I can... Let's see. Whoops. Okay. You could just run in, grab this ledge, and be on your way. So you're just going to run underwater, and about this line right here. So you can see this line that's on the, not the black line, the tick mark. I'm looking at the background, where that hatch is in the background with the X. Directly below it, into the right, there's this vertical, like the thin vertical line that Samus's arm cannon, the front of the arm cannon, is pretty much lined up with right now. So from the arm cannon, there's that line straight down. From here, I'm going to jump at it or slightly before it. So like slightly before to grab that ledge. You can, you know, do it right on the lead, on that line. Doing it right on that line is actually going to be slightly faster. So, grab it, and as soon as you grab the ledge, you're just going to press A again immediately to pull yourself up, shoot the door, and we're going to walk right through. This room, another vertical room. Jump up here, jump up on here. Now, you can jump this way, grab this ladder, jump up here, and then do that, or... as you come into the room, land there, do 2 wall jumps, and then grab the top of that ladder. There is a specific area that you can... And if you let go of A at the right time, you can just kind of grab the ladder and pull yourself up immediately. If you do 2 wall jumps at the very max peak of your jump, you can land up there. It's very rare. And I almost had it there, but you can kind of do 2 wall jumps, and it's not the most consistent. It's very tight. And I moved down twice there, so that's fine, whatever. But, again, get kind of close. Now, you can do that, and you can kind of land up there. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're kind of getting up there however you want. Those are the 2 ways to do it. You could also potentially just, I mean, even wall kicking up there will do it. You can't, I mean, you're going to have to wall kick anyway. But, so see, let's optimize this as best you can. You can just kind of wall jump in different areas as well. You can kind of, you know, come up here, climb the ladder. Okay, here, here, boom. Or, let's see, how much time? 1, 2. There you go. So, like, if you grab the ladder here, climb, like, for a second... you can easily land up there if I didn't jump extend or try to stand up immediately. So you grab the ladder, 1, 2, right above that dot, and I tried to do it again, but that's fine. So we're going to hold a charge, and we're just going to drop in the water, and you can take some hits here. They only do 10, sorry. And again, eye doors, complete RNG, charge beam right to the eye, destroys it, and we're gonna make a quick save here because we're about to fight Ceres, or Ceres, which is the boss of Sector 4. Now, this is the speed booster boss, and I feel like it's important to say this right out of the gate. This guy can be a complete troll. And and I said in part 2, which is in Sector 1, we first got the charge beam, that the charge beam is very broken. I believe, well, I don't know what the developers intended, but you can kill Ceres with 2 charge shots. Ceres has 50 health, so you can kill him with 5 missiles, or 2 charge shots, because you're dealing 26 each charge shot. However, to be able to do that, there are certain setups, but you have to hit both parts of the beam and the flare. The first one is guaranteed to hit, as long as you time up the shot correctly. Guaranteed. The second one, it's going to take some getting used to. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to have to practice it just a little bit. And here, and I'll show you why. We just quick saved, I hope. So I'm going to come up here, and about the 3rd platform, so like right there, I'm going to jump, and I'm going to spin the other direction while holding up left. And I'm going to walk as far left as I can, and I'm going to fire as he gets to the shot. Hang on. All right, so and then I'm going to hang out here. That's a good pattern. I missed the first shot, actually, believe it or not. Okay. So, Ceres has 3 patterns here that you can kind of see. And you can stand up, you can hold the ladder here and do this and be fine. You can also wait until he gets about there to hit him. So we'll do the 2 missiles. I missed. I'll grab the ladder, I'll fall off, and then I can fire 2 missiles straight up. The reason I'm grabbing the ladder, jumping right, grabbing the ladder, wow. We're just going to reset this fight. A lot of things went wrong. We can kind of get a feel as to what's going on in this fight, right? So again, when you start the fight, the first shot is guaranteed to hit, because he always does the same opening pattern where he snakes in between the platforms. So he'll snake in between, and then he'll come up and around. When he's coming up and around, if you're on the extreme left or the extreme right of that ladder, the extreme left or the extreme right, sorry, camera flip, everything, you will guarantee a hit, because he'll just go right into your beam, right? The other ones are a little tricky. Not really tricky. There's one pattern in particular where it's really tough to hit, and that is the troll pattern, where it doesn't give you any lead up to what he's going to do and so you can predict his movement. He's just going to come up and just arc over the 2 platforms and go right back down into the next pattern. I put on my glasses here to help my eyes out a bit. These things are great, by the way. You can look at computer screens and televisions. Eyes don't hurt too much. As I was saying, though, because he's got 3 patterns total, by the way. So there's the slink, and then he's going to come up and around. There's the up and around, and his second one that you saw, he goes across the platforms, down, and then he goes up and around. When he does this, and all of these have setups, except, well, if there's setups for it's hard to kind of set up for the troll pattern, because it's really hard to predict, right? So with the troll pattern, because it's so hard to predict, you're never really in position unless you're you get a really good troll pattern where he just pops up right next to you if you're standing on the platform, right? The other ones are easy to set up, and we'll just go through this fight, and I'll just demonstrate. So again, just gonna come through, and I'm just gonna wait here. All 3 parts hit, so that's 1 shot. Alright, so that's a troll pattern. That's a troll pattern, not great. If you ever get... That's 3, what the hell, dude? Now this one's gonna be predictable. Because I'm here, I can just drop down, and since I know he's gonna come up over this platform, you can stand here and fire up to the right. If he's going from left to right. I missed that. Ooh, I missed that one too. And I got the sweet spot. So I'll do this fight a couple times, so that you can kind of see a lot of variance in what's going on. And I'll just kind of talk through what's happening as I'm doing it. So again, I'll run in, spin jump to the right, come back left, hold up left, and then I'm just gonna wait. There, I may have missed the flare, but I don't think I did. So he's going right, left, and he's going to arc around. And now we've got the pattern like that. I completely forgot to go to the left. That's my fault. That's how you can do a troll pattern. Fun fact. I learned a thing. So what I'm doing for the doubles is I'm kind of like spin jumping. Whoops. So what I'm doing for the doubles here is when I hit a double, I'm kind of jumping away, and I'm kind of, as I'm jumping away, I'm curving back to grab the ladder. And the reason I'm doing this is because, as you can see, when I do that, the core X is going to come up a bit higher. I don't want him to come in too low. I want to have a little bit of space there so I can time up the missiles and hit both of them. And then it's just going to be rinse and repeat until he's down. It takes 5 shots to destroy this one. So the last one will always be, you kind of want to set him up on the sweet spot. Troll pattern number 1, troll pattern number 2, troll pattern number 3. Alright. I kind of just was reading and reacting to that one. So again, I'll jump this way, I'll come back, and you can see how high he comes. That way I have just enough room. And then there you go. Just enough room to squeeze in those double missiles. Again, you don't have to double missile. It's going to take a lot of practice to kind of get used to it and do your own kind of setup. This is the setup I use for this one in particular. It really works out well. And again, I probably have said this in the first one. The invulnerability period is approximately 3 seconds, right? So you've got 3 seconds you got to burn anyway before it becomes vulnerable again, so you may as well set it up. You know, if you want to go for it. Alright, so we've got Cyrus here. Alright, that's 1. Alright, here we go again. And 2. Now, he only has 3 patterns that he can give, but there's a total of 6, right? There's a total of 6 patterns, technically. Because every pattern has a left and a right counterpart. Or, I guess really 5, because the troll pattern I don't think really is super consistent with where it comes up. It might be. I think there's probably the 2 in the middle is the only places that you can kind of get. That might not be correct, or it might be more than that. However, there's 2 directions for like that pattern that can go. That one started to go right to left, and then that one went left to right. And then you saw there the, you know, the moving across the platforms one, and then the up and around can go left to right and right to left. Ooh, I fell in the water. Rippy dippy. Falling in the water is like a death sentence in this fight. It's not the worst, but especially when the Core X is chasing you, you're going to find it very difficult to be able to get away from the Core X because it moves unimpeded while you move completely impeded by the water and not having any way of moving freely. So we're going to do this again. One last time. It was a miss. So again, he's going to get the same pattern. Alright. I missed the first shot. That's fine. So you can kind of just see these patterns, you know, up and over, left to right, up and over, do up and over again. I missed again. Whoops. So the other pattern is if you get right to left again immediately. Wow, I was not expecting. What a happy accident. So the other thing that you can kind of do for that one pattern, and I mean, it's faster to do that, but just for the, you know, the sake of, I don't know whether or not it'll show this when it comes through again, I'm just going to stand right here. And I'm just going to wait right here and look up left and hit it right on the noggin. All 3 parts guaranteed to hit. The same as the setup for that one. And of course he gives it to me immediately. Easy peasy, right? Very super easy. So I'll jump in the water here, so you can kind of see, like, okay, I'm kind of moving around. It's not the easiest because it follows you, right? You have to kind of predict, like, right where it comes down. And these things do 30, so they don't do, that's, you know, they do quite a little bit of damage. You can kind of get away from it, but once you're in the water, you're basically in here until the fight's over, because Ceres will give you problems, as will that core. You can door fix that if you jump low enough so you can grab the ledge as you come through or land on the ledge, but we're going to do this one last time, get all 3 parts because I'm awesome. Everybody clap. He's giving me troll patterns, just like any PB attempt, any, you know, attempt that I do in a speedrun. Nope, didn't come this way. I missed. I hit 2 parts of the beam though, I think. Doesn't matter, because I hit all 3 anyway. So, I'll just come in the water, so it's... Alright, let's see. Done. That's pretty close to sweet spot, so that should be grabbable almost immediately. Alright, last time, you get to see one last time the patterns and the different movements and read and reacts that you can do. Uh-oh. I think I can make this. And it's important again to mention that, like, if you hold left on that, you know, I'm holding right actively. I can make that. I made it somehow. If you hold left, you will stop moving at a certain point when you hit the quote-unquote end of the ladder. Ah, very good, horizontal. That was a happy accident. You can't read it, but we've got the speed booster. Now, the speed booster takes a specific distance to activate. It's not like Super Metroid Speed Booster. If you've played Zero Mission, it's like that one where you need to run a certain distance before it activates, and you'll get your first taste of it right here. Now, there are a couple ways you can go about this. One specific way is you kind of do a small hop up here, just get up here and just start running, and it'll activate right about now. You want to press down to store, so when you get a speed boost, you can press down on the D-pad and you'll store it so you can use that as a shine spark. This is going to be very important. This method's going to be used quite a bit throughout the rest of the run, and I mean, it's not always going to be faster, but what you're going to do is, especially in this first instance, you're just going to run across, and what I'll do is I'll make a save state right here, because there's 2 ways of doing this. So the first method I'm going to show is the fastest way you can get this. You're going to run across, and you're going to stop right there, and then you're going to fall underneath, and you're just going to mash A. You're just going to mash the A button as quickly as you possibly can. That should reform, correct? It does not. Very good. So you're going to mash A as quickly as possible. And by doing this, because you're jumping in here, it's such a small space, the reason you're going to mash A is because if you hit A on a specific frame while you're in midair, you can activate the Shine Spark. I'll demonstrate yet again. I'll get it here. And again, you see I activated while underneath. This is what we call a low height Shine Spark. Yeah, got it again. Alright. And I'll do it right here. So it's kind of low height. And the reason we call it low height shine sparking is because we're able to activate it as low as possible on the ground, where we're kind of touching the ground essentially. Or it's basically what we're doing. So you can watch and see as we're coming across. We're essentially almost touching the ground here. And for the shine spark animation, you'll see in a little bit. Sorry, my eyes are a little itchy. what is required when we start up this Shine Spark is that it will, you know, you'll hop up off the ground and then you'll go. But you can unmorph and press A in midair at any point to, like, hang on, I'll do an example here, which is an alternate method, which is you kind of morph here and then, well, didn't quite get it there, but you kind of get the point at what I'm trying to go for. You kind of unmorph and then press A right before you hit the ground while in midair. Missed it. And you can kind of get the low height this way. You can kind of see right there, Samus kind of did a little small hop. And I'll show it again over there. So watch Samus when she moves. She's just going to hop up off the ground to start it. She hops up, hangs there for a second. And the reason she hangs there for a second is actually beneficial to the user. Because before Samus begins moving in a specific direction, because if you just press A and not hold anything on the directional pad, you'll just spark straight up. You get a moment to kind of do an input there. So you can choose the direction you go in. So here I'm just going to go up and to the left. And the reason I'm doing the way I'm doing this is I'm going to, during that startup animation, I'm going to hold the L trigger, the left trigger that you usually use to look up. I'm going to do that. So that's how you can kind of move in, you know, different directions. You can, you know, pick any specific direction except downwards. You can do it without pressing the up left or, you know, the L trigger to move up left and up right. So, like, you can kind of see me moving slightly diagonally. And I'll use the diagonal spark actually once in this sector, now that we have this. But again, you just kind of, and I got it there. It's really tight timing to do it this way, but it's another alternate way of getting the low height. So again, you just kind of morph and then unmorph and press A before you hit the ground to skip the hop animation. Just almost got it there. That's quite unfortunate, but again, I'll show one more time. So that's a kind of like brief overview of like how you kind of shine spark in this game. So if you press A in midair, which is why mashing A there works, you can get it to where you can do the low height across, and it'll kill all the enemies. That's one way to do it. The other way is I guess the intended way, potentially. You're just gonna I mean, you can run across, but you're not really gonna, you know, do anything else. You morph here, you kind of see, okay, well, I need a speed booster, so you can just come through here and kill all the ouches, and then just kind of be on your way. It's, you know, completely up to the person. They do respawn. Excellent. And I'll go through this way to get out of the tank. I say this way because I'll show you in 1 second, not in a second, but in a moment, that there's an alternate way to go. Alright, so we're just going to come this way, and if you want to, you can kind of hold, you can kind of come this way. Up here, there's, you know, if you lay a bomb there, there's missiles there, 2 missiles in that spot, and you've got, you know, out here, and then there's missiles here, right? Or, as you come down here, oops. Alright, morph, and then otherwise, you can just kind of come down here, you'll fall down, and then there's going to be an out, like right about there. You'll just come this way, and just fall this way. And remember how I said, wow, you might want to get used to doing that one method of falling down this way. It's because we're using it right here. And again, we're in the big room again. So we're just going to run back to the left. So that's one way to go about this. Now the other way that you can get out of this tank, I'm not going to get it, because it's not easy. I don't recommend doing this if you're learning. If you're slightly more advanced, and you want a challenge, you can leave the way you came in, technically. So, it requires a series of very fast wall jumps off of the same wall, which you can do underwater. I'm going to come through here. I'm going to jump through the door. Oops, not that way. That was way too high. You can kind of notice during the door transition, too, because it's considered a door transition, it does not have water clip data. So you're not moving super slowly. You're kind of jumping through this door rather quickly. But I'm just going to come off here, and I'm just going to keep wall jumping on this wall. It will make your fingers hurt a lot. You can do it off the right wall if you're more comfortable with that. I'm, for some reason, more comfortable doing it off the right wall. I'm going to try this for a little bit, but it's essentially you press the opposite direction, press A, and then press back towards the wall so you can kind of spin back towards the wall, because you're getting, as you can see, I'm getting a small amount of height each time I wall jump. Doing this consecutively, I'm getting higher in the water, right? So, at a certain point, I can get to the water's edge, and man, I'm just not great at doing this, apparently, for whatever friggin' reason. I almost had it. Almost had it again, come on. Come on, you stupid thumb. So when you get to this point... Oh my goodness, why? I didn't press down, dude. Ugh. Anyway, when you break the surface of the water, you don't want to be going at the same pace that you did getting up there. You want to increase your tempo. By increasing your tempo, you'll increase the chances that you'll get a wall jump to the other wall and then back. I'll give this one more attempt, because I don't want this entire video to be... you know, me sitting here attempting to do this and failing over and over again. I, for some reason, broke the plane, broke the surface of the water, and then did a very, very small hop. But you kind of get the idea. Oh my goodness. It's a lot of work to just even get up there. Your fingers will hurt. It's a lot of practice to get this consistently. This is one of the harder tricks to do in this game, by leaps and bounds. You have to be very comfortable with wall jumping. But I figure, you know, if I'm going to make a speedrun tutorial, I may as well include this. It's actually slightly faster if you can get this on the first try, after the Sarah's fight, to come this way. It only saves, like, a second, I think. I didn't trust myself. I didn't... Ugh. Almost had it. I said one more try, but my pride dictates that I know I can get it. Darn it! Alright, last attempt, and then we're moving on. Come on. You can get there, idiot. Come on. Stupid thumb. And it, again, this is all like rhythm of like just getting it consistent. My thumb is actually starting to like cramp up a little bit, so we're just gonna leave it at that. You would just then go the same way that you came in, except you're just gonna fall straight down. So that's, I gave it a shot, I got it twice, didn't quite get the wall jump out completely, but you can kind of get the idea of where I'm going with that. That is absolutely a technique that's more advanced. I wouldn't recommend it if you're just learning. If you want to save like a second or two, definitely go for it. However, it's not, you know, the be-all end-all. You'll look really cool, for sure. But, I wasted a lot of time on that, and I apologize. Now, again, we're just moving through these rooms the exact same way that we did before, right? We can't leave until we lower the water. Except this time the blocks are gone and we've got speed booster. So instead of going up in this room, we're just going to continue to the left, right? So we're just going to go to the left, and after we break this, you can store a shine, or you can store a spark, and use it. Well, I didn't use it, but you could use it to spark to the right there. Conversely, you can come back down here, get this missile tank. If you don't want the missile, you can lay a bomb. I did not wait long enough for it to go off, but you can lay a bomb and jump over it. Kind of want to lay it in the corner, and you can kind of get yourself over it. Kind of like that. Now, when you come down here, you're just going to want to shoot and just get up here some way just to get the shine spark. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to actually show you what you can do with the shine spark when you get it. You can kind of get it, hit the button there, do your thing, and then you can come up and hold left, the left trigger, L, to angle, so you can hit the wall. Now, the reason you want to hit the wall is you can hit the wall and stop your thing so you can start speed boosting again as quickly as possible. The other method is to do, a shine spark all the way to the right, hit the door, and then run back a little bit, and then start doing it again. Now, the reason you're going to want to do this is you really need a shine spark for right here. And what I'll do now, actually, is I will make a save state at the end of that room. Or, better yet, I will make a save state right here, so I can guarantee that I get the speed booster. Now, again, we talked about low height shine spark, and this is going to be another example of where you can use it. So you're going to morph in the ball, you're going to hit the ground, and I didn't use it because I suck. Essentially, the goal to get that low height shine spark, you either want to use the spark right before you hit the ground, or you want to bounce off the ground, press up to unmorph, and then press A, which is going to go for right here. I pressed A slightly too late. Because we talked about before how if you fall from at least 3 blocks, your Samus is going to hit the ground as a ball and bounce up off the ground. That actual distance, if you press up and unmorph, you will still be in the air. That actually gives you enough distance off the ground to be able to activate a shine spark as low to the ground as possible. So, and once I fail inevitably again here, I'll show you why that's important. So I can, get this, and if I don't get it, I'm hitting this platform here because it's so low, but I'm able to run under it. So the reason we would want to get a low height shine spark here is because it will allow us to pass through this 2 block high area, or tunnel technically, under this platform. If we don't get it though, run to about right here, the edge of this Homer Simpson tank, and you'll get the spark. But again, if my fingers stop being stupid after the cramping that just went on with the with the skip there, with the reverse Ceres tank trick, I can kind of do, or if I store it at all, I have a feeling it'll look, something kind of like this. Fuck. I hate so much right now. I just hate. I'm ruining all my credibility. It's ruined. All right. We'll try a number of times. The other method that I am also trying to show off, like you can unmorph at one or two places. You can unmorph after you've bounced off the ground, or right before you hit the ground. Let's see. There you go. I bounced, I pressed A, and I'm now able to... So that's the other thing, an interesting thing that just happened. Easy to miss. So when I shine spark, if I spark into a ramp, I will hit the ramp, and I will just bonk into it. However, if I activate it and I continue to hold the direction with which I want to go, I can, you know, continue to run and get the spark back, and I can store it again. So something like this, and I can just keep using it, right? Pretty neat. The other thing you can do here is when you break these blocks, you can store a spark here and get these missiles down here. Well, idiot. If I was smart, I would have gotten that, but here we go. And you can kind of spark in the water. Now, you can touch the water. You know, ideally, you're not going to be that high. The only reason I used the spark that high was because I was literally about to lose it. You can spark directly into that missile tank as well. And you can also skip the startup animation, technically. But, you know, that's just one missile you can get. And because you're shine sparking, you ignore the effects of the water. So I'll show again right here, you know, okay, right here. And then I can do that. And I'm moving through, and as if I had gravity suit, which I don't. The speed booster ignores all water effects, which is partially why Cyrus is able to maneuver so quickly. So as you come through here, you're going to want to hold a charge beam, right? So you're going to hold a charge beam, and as you come through this block, R shoot to release it, and when you come into this room, you're going to kill this guy as quickly as possible, so you can spawn this yellow one, this yellow crab, immediately. By doing that, after it spawns or while it's spawning, you can shoot a charge shot directly at it, and it'll kill it. And you're moving right on through. Now, there are two ways to go about this to get out. You can run and jump and do, you know, your kind of shot unmorphs and do something kind of akin to this. Or you can do something slightly different. You can wall jump, and kind of come up here and, you know, come out this way. The wall jump and the jumping onto the platform, the timing is fairly negligible, to be completely honest. It's really negligible, which is pretty nice. It's very nice, actually. Excuse me. So, I mean, it's probably a few frames faster to do something like that, but if you want to wall jump and practice those, go for it. All you. By all means, go for it. And it's actually at this point now that, you know, we're done with this sector. I'm an idiot. Alright, we're just gonna talk to, Adam real quick. And I'm gonna show one last thing that you can do now that we have Speed Booster. That's gonna be consistent for every single sector, at this point for the rest of the game. And that is this. So, alright, so go to the target. Sure, yeah, I'll think about it. I'm gonna go back inside, actually. I'm gonna get a Shine Spark. So what you can do is you can get a Shine Spark right before you talk to Adam. Oh, hello. So I'm gonna run in, and I'm gonna get a Shine Spark. So if you store a spark on the pad to activate Adam, you will actually keep it through the conversation, kind of like this. And then you just press right and A, and then jump through the door, and you can kind of just land on the elevator and ride it up as quickly as possible, so you can kind of move really quickly. Not kind of, you definitely move very quickly. But we've now left Sector 4. That is the end of this video. I hope this has been helpful. I hope I didn't miss anything. I think I've covered a lot of the stuff, including Reverse Ceres Tank. You're welcome, Scotty. The next part will be out next Sunday. We'll go over Sector 3. Very, very interesting as well. A lot of interesting movement mechanics. Barely on the short side, though. It is on the shorter end of, you know, sector visits for the most part. Which, in and of itself, is not a bad thing. A lot of Shine Spark tricks. Now that we have Shine Sparking, we can do a lot of tricks. A lot of them. Which is, you know, pretty nice. But for now, I'm going to finish this up, get this uploaded for you guys, and then next Sunday we'll be getting Sector 3. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me here, even while my tired brain flubbed a few things here and there. But have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.